Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have full confidence in the Caribbean Development Bank, in the professionals, in the management of the Caribbean Development Bank. But, but I am a bit perturbed at the amount of money we seem to be spending on consultancies. In the estimates of expenditure, I pointed out that the government was spending $14 million on consultancies, and at this time, we were not even aware that there were extra consultancies in terms of part payment for the Parker Company was about consultancies. Now we are going to be borrowing another $11 million for $13 million for consultancies. We understood that a foreign firm was also paid an undisclosed amount to deal with consultancies for the budget. What concerns me is that I know that we have a very competent civil service. A civil service, St. Lucia Civil Service, is possibly one of the most qualified civil services in the region. I know secretaries in the civil service with master's degrees. And I seem to be concerned. Why do we always have to seek foreign interference or foreign consultancies to be able to fulfill our mandate or our objectives for the people of St. Lucia? I believe that if we approach the system in a non-partisan manner, in a manner that does not target people that we imagine do not support us, do not support the government, and we allow these professionals to do their work, you give them the mandate and tell them this is what we want to achieve. I believe that St. Lucia has enough trained and qualified people who, if they are given the independence to advise on policy, to advise on change processes, to reach the objectives set even by this government, I think we'd have to spend a lot less money on consultancies. But it's because this government, in particular a few ministers, have a desire and a zeal to attack people, to attack public servants, to attack professionals, to attack engineers, local engineers, when they make a pronouncement about St. Jude Hospital, to attack them, even to attack doctors, professionals again, who have the same skill to give the consultancies that we are paying money for. Doctors who have absolutely no interest in politics, but we attack them because they are offering advice and consultancies that we are going to pay for. I think that we would have saved that money that we are spending this morning. The Prime Minister's objectives may be laudable, but the point is, we could have avoided that expenditure if we had more confidence in our local professionals, if we were not as hasty as we are to attack the dissenting view. I think we would have saved that money. As the Prime Minister makes the point of rice, flour, and sugar, and again, I've heard that point before about there is no need to subsidize rice, flour, and sugar because other people benefit from that subsidy. That is a concept that has no bearing in economic theory. the consumption patterns, there is a concept called the giffen goods concept, where it says that as soon as people's quality of life improves and their income improves, they will no longer be consuming these products like rice, flour, and sugar, which we call giffen products, because they will move into another caliber of another quality of life, and they will no longer purchase these. So these goods do not obey the normal demand and supply curve. So to make the point that you must not subsidize rice, flour, and sugar because poor people, because other people will benefit, is not, you know, it's what it shows is the underpinnings from which the Prime Minister is coming from. The understanding, because people, rice, flour, and sugar, I'm sure there are many people in a particular income level who do not use white rice, no white flour, no brown sugar. I'm sure. Because it obeys the giffen goods concept. So I want the Prime Minister to desist from pretending that not subsidizing rice, flour, and sugar will not benefit the lower income people or the people who cannot afford to buy it. Secondly, the Prime Minister again goes into, and I wish he would not have done that, but he opened the door for a debate on SAAFA in the presence of the students of SAAFA. And he should not do that, because the state has a responsibility to educate the people of the country. It's a responsibility of the state, at least to a certain level of education. And to try to put a dollar value on the value of education, particularly for our young people who have reached that level, I don't think it is right. I think, again, the Prime Minister should desist from making these kind of statements. These people at SAAFA Lewis, the students there, they are the future, and we speak about the youth and the future of the country. So we cannot put a price on the education and calculate how much money we are using to subsidize them. We have to subsidize them. It's our duty to subsidize the young people of this country. Most of us in this room, if governments did not subsidize us, at UWI, they pay economic costs. If governments didn't subsidize us, we would not have gone to university. So to put a dollar value on subsidizing education, I think the Prime Minister, I don't know if he means it, but I think he should not do it. Because it doesn't speak well to the psyche, to the students at SAAFA or the teachers at SAAFA. We understand that the SAAFA Lewis, the buildings are in need of repair. To my mind, we ought to sit down and work on a method and look at our priorities. Because this morning I'm not going into priorities. What we use our money for, that is for another show. But we could look at our priorities and see if in certain places where we spent money, it would not have been better used for the students of St. Lucia, for the young people of St. Lucia to educate them, if we had put our money in different areas. So finally, I want to make the point that I'm very concerned about the money that we seem to be spending on consultancies, where I believe that there are local professionals, local St. Lucians, local doctors, local engineers, local educators, who, if given the scope, the independence to do a job, would do it just as well as these foreign consultants. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.